Who else can say that they have planned, taken courses, listened to podcasts, read books, but this is one of the principles within this book. Okay, principle 13, it is take. Hi, my name is Andrea Gal, and welcome to Her Radiant Life. This segment is called Radiant Reflections. Forgot for a second. Radiant Reflections. And basically what I'm going to do once a week is read an excerpt from a personal growth book that I've been reading and talk a little bit about my reflection on that excerpt. So today, the Radiant Reflection is from Jack Canfield's The Success Principles. Such a good book. I highly recommend it. The reason I wanted to do this segment is because I believe that reading, listening to podcasts, listening to sermons, being in groups where we talk about books and personal growth ideas is really important to grow. Hence the name personal growth. But it's really important to see the ideas of other people who have lived life and are kind of like a step ahead. You know, they've gotten a lot of traction in life. They've been really successful. And I love seeing how they got there. But this is one of the principles within this book. Okay, principle 13. I'm just going to read like a paragraph of it and then I'm going to talk about it. It is take action. The universe rewards action. Yet as simple and as true as this principle is, it's surprising how many people get bogged down in analyzing, planning, and organizing when what they really need to do is take action. Okay, first of all, who else can say that they have planned, taken courses, listened to podcasts, read books, talked to people, been in groups, all kinds of things, but never actually take the action? Me. Like literally, I have done that so many times in my life. Now I'm taking action in a lot of areas in my life. So I've grown, thankfully. I mean, this podcast, this YouTube channel is literally an example of me actually taking action. But for a very long time, I listened to like Sean Cannell's Think Media messages for hours and hours. And I just thought eventually, like, why am I not just doing it? Like, it's time to just do it. So that's the point of this, is that we so often just continue to learn and never actually apply the learning. Okay, but that's seriously important. For instance, if you just keep learning about eating healthy and you know all the ways to eat healthy and you know all the ways to exercise, but you never do it, then it's not going to actually change your life and it's not going to actually do anything. It's in the action that happens. So let's continue. When you take action, you trigger all kinds of things that will inevitably carry you to success. You let those around you know that you are serious in your intention. People wake up and start paying attention. People with similar goals become aligned with you. You begin to learn things from your experience that cannot be learned from listening to others or from reading books. So that goes back to what I was saying. But the fact that people then start to align with you, if they see online, let's say someone is becoming a trainer. They're not fully a trainer at the gym yet. And they decide that they want to get a few people where they have them get into a healthier place, lose weight or gain muscle or whatever it is. And then at the same time, you're deciding that you're going to start going to the gym, but you're a little bit lost, you know? You don't exactly know what to do. So let's say you go to the gym and you start talking to this person. And this person is like, I'd really love to train someone just to get some experience under my belt and to get some client reviews and things that I can put on my website. Do you want to work with me? And then together you guys aligned in what you were doing. But had you never taken action and gone to the gym, you never would have met that person. You begin to get feedback about how to do it better, more efficiently, and more quickly. That's kind of just from experience. You know, as you experience things, you think, oh, that didn't work, but this did work, which you're never going to know unless you're actually moving forward with it. Things that once seemed confusing become clear. Things that once appeared difficult begin to be easier. I used to think that making thumbnails for YouTube was difficult, but I used to have a fashion channel, and thumbnails at first were very hard for me. And then I learned where to place the text, what to put as the text, how to make my face pop in the picture. By doing it, I could have studied that forever, but it was actually by doing it that it became easy. Now it's second nature to me. You begin to attract others who will support and encourage you. All manner of good things begin to flow in your direction once you begin to take action. So if you feel like you don't know the right people, you don't have the right group, you don't know exactly what you're doing, but you want to start something, start it. Now, they actually say the most successful people have a lower tolerance of how much they think they need to know to start something. So the people, I would say I'm more of a person who thinks they have to know everything before they start something. But the people that feel like, oh, I know enough, I'll just start, they're the ones who are successful, because as you start moving, you can direct yourself a lot easier. And in fact, God can direct you a lot easier. God can steer your car if it's moving, but if you're stopped, it doesn't matter if you turn the steering wheel at all, you're still not going anywhere. I don't know if you've heard of Matthew Hussey. He is a relationship guru. I actually wrote a jingle for him and he played it on his podcast many times. It was actually quite a cool experience. And because of that, I ended up going to his retreat. And first of all, the retreat never would have happened if I had not taken action and written the jingle for him and sent it in. But secondly, at the retreat, he said the most simple but deep thing I've heard in a long time, and that is stuff leads to stuff. Stuff leads to stuff. If you don't do anything, you're not going anywhere. But if you start, even if it's messy, do everything in excellence, don't get me wrong. But even if it's a bit messy, you're not 100% there. You don't know exactly what you're doing. But if you start, then that movement of like, okay, no, I'm actually going to change directions a little bit this way or a little bit this way, tweaking things as they go, rising into the next level, you can only do that by action. So whatever it is that you are not starting, but you've been studying, thinking about it, writing about it, journaling, talking to people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Go do it. Just start. You're ready. Especially if you've been thinking about it for months or years, you're ready to do it. Just start. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're never going to move forward if you have to be perfect before you start, because you're not going to be perfect before you start. So that is my radiant reflection for today. Take action. I really do think that if you just get the courage and do it, you're going to be so happy that you started, and you're going to start the snowball effect. You know, you start kind of slow at the top of the mountain and then you gain momentum. You get bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better. And then it's going faster and faster. That's momentum. But that can only happen if you start with your little bit of snowball at the top of the hill. So go out, be a blessing, and rise into your radiance. Bye.